Hi, welcome to another edition of Resonate with Edgehill Davis. I'm Owen Edgehill.
And I am David Davis.
How are you doing, sir?
Oh, good. Am I getting stronger? Or
You are getting
stronger.
stronger. You are getting stronger. I'm getting weaker. You're getting stronger, man.
Mind you, you've had a drive. You had a drive this morning.
Yeah, I've had a mad drive. Yeah.
Coming from up where it snows.
Where it snows, yeah. Where it's infinitely cold
Yeah.
and damp and wet.
And then you brought your grey clouds down here, right?
Yeah. But it's also a lovely place. My Bolton. It's cool. It's funny because when I go back to the north, even though I've got my Bolton accent, when I'm around people and it's just the Bolton accent, that's all you can, I start chuckling because it's nice.
Do they think you're a snob?
Nah, not at all.
You kind of lost a
I've
little bit.
not lost anything. When they see me, it's just Irwin, normal Irwin.
No, but surely they talk even like that, don't they?
That's a good one. Well done, man. That's good. Nice. Yeah.
Sweet.
There you go. How are you?
Yeah.
You right?
Yeah.
Good.
Sweet. Had a
Would you tell me if you weren't all right?
I've told you before when I'm not all right. But yeah, I'm sweet. I had a good weekend.
I wonder, the viewers out there, when somebody says to you, "Are you all right?" What do you say back? Because most people mechanically say, "Yeah, I'm all right."
It's a very English thing.
And then they walk away and think, "Why did I say that? I'm not all right."
It's a very English thing. Because my wife from Poland, as you know, and she says the Polish they'd never say that. They would never say to anyone in the street, or on the phone, or "Are you all right?" And you know why?
Why?
Ask me the question. Just say we're in Poland. Just ask me the question. I'm all right.
You okay?
Well, not really, because I had a bad night's sleep and my knee. I had a knee problem. It's swollen up on my back, and my back has been, and then my ankle and my head, and I'm just like. And then the boss said to me this, and that. They would tell it the way it is.
Right. Well, that's how it should be.
So they don't ask. So they don't ask the question.
Right.
But
right.
in England, even though we've got the head, the knee, the back, and the boss and all of that, we'll say, "Yeah, it's all good."
But that's how it should be, though, shouldn't it?
It is.
Somebody says, "How you doing?" It should be a case of, tell them how you doing.
Yeah.
And if they start doing the Michael Jackson moonwalk to trying to get away from you, then, as you say, well, you asked me.
Yeah.
You asked me. But because most people don't get asked that question, D. Most people don't.
And when they do, they want the answer, "Yeah, I'm okay."
Yeah.
Because if you do, that's when they're stuck in thinking, "Why the hell?
Yeah.
Why the hell did I ask?"
Yeah.
And that is definitely a British trait.
Which is not a cool thing to be in, is it? In terms of asking that mechanical question.
Funnily enough, there's someone that you and I, I know, we know. Well, say we within the realms of the studio area that we know has a variety. Well, I say a variety has medical issues, so to speak. And then if someone says you're all right, they'll go, "Yeah." But if someone says, "No, really, are you all right?" that person will then tell the truth.
Right.
But the reason why they go yes first of all is because of just what we've said.
Yeah.
It just deflects it all off.
Yeah.
Because they really know you're not interested.
Right.
But if you ask that person again, that means in their head it's going that they really are interested.
Yeah.
So I will tell them.
Right.
It's strange, though, isn't it?
Very strange. Very strange.
We have to be kind of not manipulating to, but we have to be kind of serious about that particular question. It's a simple question, but it does affect people in different ways because they'll know that you're not really interested.
Right. And it's sad, really, because a lot of people would like you to listen to them.
Yeah.
In terms of what's going on for them.
And that's half the problem with why we've got so much depression, people feeling unwanted, people feeling lonely.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking they really don't want to know.
Yeah.
When you...
It's not cool.
In fact, yeah.
It's not cool.
No, not at all.
But if any of you are out there who can't speak to anyone for whatever reason, you haven't got anybody to speak to David and I. Send us a message.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell us how you're feeling, and we'll try and help. And if we can't, we'll pass you on to somebody who will. So yeah, there you go.
So important.
I want to get your views and everybody else's views on something that you said on a previous episode. It was right at the start of a previous episode.
Seems a long time ago.
It does indeed. And it was centered around the moment, right? And I think you said something along the lines of, you just got to just be in that moment, or have that moment of whatever's going on, and then get yourself out of it. And it kind of resonated with me, that particular thing, Dee, that you mentioned. And I thought, how many people out there, and hopefully you out there can tell us, who actually feel bad or don't feel great, but understand that you need to get yourself out of that moment before it gets worse. Now, when I look back on my previous life, before I had this information, I was always stuck in that moment. And as a result, it just got worse and worse and worse.
Spirals, yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't have anybody like you saying, yeah, it's all right to be in the moment, but you've got to get out of it. So what I want to say with regards to that, Dee, is I don't think we should give ourselves a moment. I don't think we should give ourselves a moment if we're not sophisticated enough to be able to get out of it. In other words, if I'm not doing any work on myself, you're not doing any work on yourself, you're not doing any work on yourself, so you don't know about this stuff. But all you've heard is someone say, if you're feeling a bit bad, just stay in the moment. Not saying that you've said that, but if somebody just says, if you're feeling a bit bad, it's all right to stay in the moment. If that person hasn't got the knowledge to realise that it can only be a moment, because if it's longer than a moment, I'm going to go further and further and further down into that swamp of what I'm dealing with, then it's going to get worse. So so for me, it's about understanding the moment and what it's all about before you can actually be in that situation to say, yeah, I'm not having a good day today. I can self-reflect on it. I can feel sorry for myself a little bit, but I know I need to get myself out of it straight away. If you can't do that, you're going to descend into it. So I'm not saying what you said in terms of have a moment is wrong. I'm just saying we've got to be mindful being in that moment, because it could perpetuate into something else, something worse.
So are you saying not to be in the moment if you don't have the ability to be able to realise, I need to get out of that moment?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like the chicken and the egg. What comes first? Surely you have to live it. And we're all human beings, so every one of us we're going to have a moment.
Right.
No matter what it is, because that's the way we're wired up. That's the way for me, in my opinion, that's the way the brain is wired up.
Right.
To have that, it's like if you pinch me, I'm going to have a moment of that hurt.
Right.
It's a moment, but if you don't let that affect you, because it's just happened, it's a moment. That's fine. So we can't get away from not having a moment.
Right.
I'll get up and bang my knee on this table. It's gonna.
Right.
It's a moment, and those things that happen at that particular time.
Yeah.
It's a moment. I'm going to give you something a bit, I say deep.
Deeper the better, man.
Yeah, and some of us will resonate with it.
Right.
So when my mum died, I wasn't told she'd passed, because I was in the military. We were away, and I didn't know she'd died until 2 weeks later. And so it's no matter when you get told someone close to you, relative, friend, whatever, dies, you're going to be in a moment. And that moment becomes into, not just a moment, but it becomes into a bereavement.
Right.
and you bereave, you're saddened. You look at memories. You look at all of these things.
Yeah.
Because it's human nature,
Of course,
to connect with that.
Yeah.
But there comes a point in time, because you can let that go on and on and on for months, and people do.
Right.
And people become depressed.
Right.
And and their relationship with other people becomes torn up.
Yeah.
It becomes irreparable, because these other people can't live around that constantly.
Right.
Because these people have lost someone dear to them.
Yes.
But you've got to somehow, and this is not easy, it isn't, but you've got to get out of that moment of bereavement.
Right.
There comes a point in time when you have to live your life.
Yeah.
And I know that's deep, and I know it's harsh, and I know it's something a lot of people can resonate with.
Without a doubt.
And I'm sorry if I've touched, memories or whatever, but we have to kind of put it somewhere away, not in a box and seal it, but put it somewhere away where we treasure it as memories, and not to give us this depressive spiral that we're going to constantly go down, and we're taking other people down with us.
Right.
Or we're losing other people because of it.
Right.
As in
Yeah.
connection with other people.
Right.
Until it starts to eat into you, you become so ill, you don't know how to get out of it. So just treat these things as a moment. And that moment, for instance, that particular period of time in my life, that moment was painful. And it was painful for a good 3, 4, probably 5 months. But I had to kind of say, you know what? Okay, I wasn't there for her when she died. But was it for her or was it for me? Who's it for? That I wasn't there. And I have to think of the rationality of it. We're all going to go at some point. We've all got to be mindful of that, which is why we've all got to treat these moments precious.
Right.
And it could be a good moment.
Right.
It could be you've just got that new job. It could be you've just won the lottery. It could be a multitude of good things.
Right.
But you can't stay in that moment.
That's a good example, that. Good example, D.
Because it's not real.
Yeah,
it's just it's past.
Right.
The moment's gone.
Yeah.
Take the moment for what it is, and use it for one, your benefit, or the benefit of someone else, or the benefit of a memory, or the benefit's pain. You know, I had prostate cancer 3-4 years ago, just in COVID.
Right.
I didn't. It was a moment when the doctor said to you have prostate cancer, and again, I feel for anyone that has to hear those words. But that moment, I thought my whole world was just going to collapse.
Right.
But if I lived in that particular moment continuously, whilst I was going through research, I was doing my own research about it, whilst I was going through the therapy, whilst I went through the operation, after the operation, if I lived the same moment when the doctor told me, that spiral of shock, depression, sadness, all of these things would have just made it worse. Right. It'd have got my stress levels up, and maybe, I mean, touch wood, it doesn't ever come back in relation to cancer within my body. It's never going to be my prostate because that was taken out.
Right.
But the fact is, it could come back at any time. But do you know what? You can't live your life that way. You've got to live your life in a more realistic way, in a positive way, and not forget the moment, but don't allow the moment to overtake you. Right.
Well said. 2 absolutely phenomenal examples, D. Thanks for sharing that.
And like I say, I'm sorry for...
No. I'm glad you shared that. I'm glad you shared that. I'm sure, and I presume everybody else is glad you shared it, because it really does connect with the concept of the moment, but not letting the moment take you over, right? Mm-hmm. Those are 2 excellent examples. And the vast majority of people that you and I see in any given moment, D, because they're not aware of, as you say, you bang your knee, that's nothing that's not a big deal. Or you lose someone, which is a really, really big deal. Either way, the moments, aren't they? And if you can look at it like that, as in like, not as in, oh yeah, let's just get over it, but just like think to yourself, right, oh yeah, there's something that's happening now, but I can't let it overtake me, as you say.
Good or bad.
I can't let it, good or bad, winning the lottery or meeting a new person who's phenomenal in your life or whatever, getting a fantastic job or whatever the situation is. Your team winning the bloody league for first time in centuries.
It's a moment,
whatever the situation is, enjoy it or deal with it, but don't let it dwell. Easier said than done, as you say, but your examples were just absolutely spot on in terms of what we've got to do, because that's what I was trying to get at in terms of the moment. But if we're not, this is the thing, D, if we're not alert enough and awake enough or intelligent enough to realise that, then we are going to sink further and further and further and further down into that depression or into that sadness because of that bereavement or whatever it is. So I guess it's a case of everybody out there just realising that when you do get a moment like that, whether it's a good moment or not so good moment, do everything in your power to try and get yourself out of it. That's basically the case, isn't it?
Or ask for help.
Ask for help.
Yeah. Because it's going to be detrimental to your own ability to live.
Yeah.
And the people around you that, as I say, that you're going to bring into that. And let's look at the good note. Let's just cheer this up a little bit. Let's look at.
No, D. We don't need to cheer it up.
I know.
But I get where you're coming from.
But the other slant on it, on the good side of it,
right?
Let's look at Manchester City.
Right.
They won the championship. They won the Premiership, shall I say?
Right.
The following season. And they all celebrate. They celebrate. You see them on the bus or whatever it may be. They all celebrate it, and rightly so. That's the moment you've worked for a whole season, 40-odd games, whatever it is. I don't know. That's a whole season. And then after that moment, Pep, the manager, brings them all back down to earth. Put your feet on the ground, guys. We have to do this again next season. So forget what you've just done. It means nothing. Because we've still got a job to do, which is next season.
Right.
But next season, I don't just want to win the Premiership. I want to win the Champions League.
Right.
And I want to win the FA Cup.
Right.
And I want to win the Charity Shield.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, I want to win it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of having a mindset to say, okay, we've done what we've done, good, and it was a good thing. Put that to one side. We've had to go through this, which is a bad thing, but now we have to live our lives because we've got other responsibilities, we've got other people that are dependent upon us.
Right.
Whether that be friends, family, jobs, whatever it may be, put it now to one side.
Put it to one side. Because if we don't, it's just going to destroy us.
It's manifest, yeah. It'll manifest in one, you believing that you're the greatest team in the world, and guess what? Next season, because you sat back on your laurels, you get spanked every single game.
Right. Because you've not got over that moment.
Because you've not got over that moment.
Right.
You're still kissing that crown with the champions of 2020 whenever.
Right.
When this is now 2024.
Right. Good point.
You're still in that depressive state because my mum died, and it hurts me to say that, but I still have memories. I have make sure I have those good memories. And every morning, believe this or not, I've got 3 coins. One of my dad, one of my mum, one of my uncles. And those coins represent them. The Queen's head represents my mum of a 50p. Back in 1960 something it was printed. It belonged to my mum, I found it in her drawer. One coin for my dad has the head of President Kennedy, the President of America back in
63, 60s. I think he died, yeah.
That belonged to my dad. So for me, he was my president. And then he's got a smaller coin which represents a Jamaican president. I can't remember his name, from back in the 40s. My uncle had that in his possession, in his drawer. And I got these when they died, and I kept them. And every morning, that memory I share with them and say thank you for making me the person I am today.
Right.
I kiss those coins, and people might think I'm crazy.
Right.
But that's where I had to put my memory.
Right.
So if I dwelled on
Great
it,
point.
oh my God, they've gone, they've left me, and all of this. And they're the 3 people closest to me,
Right.
and always will be the 3 people, because they made me who I am today.
Yeah.
My uncle lived with us, that's why he's so close to me. But I share those memories within myself, good memories. But if I were to go the wrong way,
Right.
as in, oh, they've gone, they've left me,
Right.
I'm going to bring that down to everyone else.
Yeah. And you're going to end up destroying yourself.
Yeah.
Excellent examples, D. Nice one, bro. Nice one. Felt that. Nice one. That's it for me. Say a few words as usual.
Yeah. My words are quite simple with this one. As always, please share, like what you hear, and please make a comment.
Indeed, yes.
That's the key.
Yeah.
You know, we want to hear your comments. We want you to resonate with us. We want to keep this particular channel going for as long as we possibly can. And if we could empowers other people to listen to us and obviously be the better version of themselves, well then we've done what this
Done
channel
our little bit.
This is what we're all about.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed.
And thank you. And if you can, if you've not spoken to someone, and I kind of thought about this earlier, if you haven't spoken to someone for a long time, someone that's dear to you, if that's the big thing, just pick up the phone. No text. None of that kind of WhatsApping. Actually pick up the phone and speak to them, because you know what? They will be so happy to hear from you. That's what I've got to say.
Nice one. That's it from me. Until next time.
Until next time, that's it from me.